Jai Guru. The sadhana gnan, which has not yet got rid of the sadhak, is known as Rajasa Gnan. The advent of self-knowledge through renunciation of all actions, as outlined in the Sankhya philosophy, and the consummation of all actions after attaining this realization, as described in the Vedanta, both have to do with the complex nature of karma. Karma is the outward expression or manifestation of the transcendental spirit and its reflection. The soul, through the instrumentality of nature and the faculties of the body. Karma is the outward expression or manifestation of the transcendental spirit and its reflection, the soul, through the instrumentality of nature and the faculties of the body. Sankhya teaches that renunciation of all karma is necessary in order to gain self-knowledge. The first rule or aphorism of Sankhya declares that the highest necessity of man is the eradication of physical, mental and spiritual suffering at the root, so that there is no possibility of recurrence. Yoga philosophy teaches the technique by which threefold human afflictions are removed forever. Vedanta means end of the Vedanta. Vedas. Vedanta means end of the Vedas. Complete knowledge of all truth to be known. Vedanta means complete knowledge of all truth to be known, are the Vedas. So Vedanta means end of that one, end of complete knowledge of all truth to be known. Describes the infinite spirit, the ultimate goal of man. The first sutra of Vedanta, that is Brahma Sutra Bhashyams, so Sage Vyasa says, Adhato Brahma Jignasa. So begins the inquiry about the Brahman, the infinite. Meaning is, so begins the inquiry about the Brahman, the infinite. Without the renunciation enjoined in the Sankhya and without the techniques of the yoga, without the technique of yoga, the devotee cannot escape the misery producing entanglements of physical consciousness and realize the infinite. Both Sankhya and Yoga teach how to attain Brahman. Vedanta describes and discusses what is to be found by following the advice of Sankhya, and most important, by practicing the techniques of Yoga. All three philosophies point out the same goal, but Sankhya and Yoga must be followed first, for without their aid, spirit remains unreachable and unknown. So Veda, Sankhya and Yoga, these are the three philosophies, point out the same goal, but remember that Sankhya and Yoga must be followed first, for without their aid, spirit remains unreachable and unknown. Only after one has realized Brahman does the Vedanta discussion about him become truly meaningful. All human activities are consummated when by following the principles of Sankhya and Yoga. When by following the principles of Sankhya and Yoga, the devotee reaches the ultimate state described by Vedanta, oneness with the Absolute beyond the domain of all activities. That is why all activities, remember that all human activities are consummated only by following the principles of Sankhya and Yoga. यत्तु कृष्णवदे कस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम् अतत्वार्धवदल्पञ्च तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्. Hey Arjun, this body is a natural result of man-woman relationship, and everything is physical things only. The knowledge that causes the interest only in physical things, illogical, meaningless, lacking conformance with the principles of truth, mean, trivial and preposterous, is tamasic knowledge. The one who does not do any yoga sadhana at all is considered to be gnani of fully ignorant tamasic person. He is having a gnana of fully ignorant tamas. That is, he is a fully ignorant tamasic person, that sort of person. Niyatam sangarahita maragadveshata krutam abhala prepsuna karma yattat sattvikam. The karma that is sanctioned by scripture, the karma done without expecting any returns, the karma without any attraction or repulsion, the karma which is done without any attraction or repulsion is said to be sattvika karma. The karmas of advanced Kriya Yogi will be as above. The Sattvika Yogi will do the pujas, worship, without expecting any fruits of his worship. If a snake is killed by a yogi without any hatred on the snake, to save the child who is about to be bitten, he will not be touched by the sin. Man is supposed to be having 6 senses including mind. As such, he is superior being compared to the snake, which is very, very lower being. Man, the higher being, can breed the lower being, but not vice versa. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyati bahulayasam tadrajasamudakrutam. The karma which is done with expecting fruits, with egotism, with more effort, is called rajasa karma. The pujas, worships done for the sake of reputation and not for the love of God is said to be rajasic puja. Anubandham kshayam himsa manapekshya cha paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattamasamuchyate. The karma, O Arjun, the karma which is performed with ignorance, not considering the good or bad results, the harm, torture, ability, is said to be tamasika karma. Mukta sango nakhambadi drutyussaha samanvitaha siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha karta satvika uchyate. Hey Arjun, the man who has shed fruits of karma, not having I am the doer type of egotism, attachment, the man who does the work with courage and interest, who do not feel pleasantness or unpleasantness in cases of success or no success, is said to be sattvika karta. The wife of someone came running and told her husband that their only son died due to some sudden accident. Husband says, do jhana quietly for some time for the peace of the departed soul to his wife. He thanks the God for giving 20 years company of a good God fearing son. He thanks the God for giving 20 years company of a good God fearing son who was a very good Kriya Yogi. Having heard this, the wife says, don't you have any sorrow for the departed soul? The husband said, I had a dream last night. In that I became a king I had 3 sons. My palace was uprooted, and all my sons were killed due to an earthquake. Now you tell me, my dear wife, shall I have to wail for the mishap of the dream in which there was a colossal loss? Or shall I have to wait for this one son who is lost in the dream of Parabrahman? Dagi karma phala prepsur lupto hinsatmako suchihi harshasokan vitakarta rajasa parikirtitaha. The man who do work with affection and attachment towards relations, etc., who is interested in fruits of karma, who is greedy, torturing quality, impure, and who is subjected to pleasantness and unpleasantness, is said to be Rajasa Karta. Is said to be Rajasa Karta. Ayukta Prakruta Stabdaha Shato Naishkrutiko Lasaha Vishadi Dirgha Sutri Cha Karta Tamasa Uchate. The man with a vacillating mind, ignorant, untrained, foolish, and consciousness, who causes harm to others without any valid reasons, always immersed in useless thoughts, idle, and who take more time for small work, is said to be Tamasika Karta. Buddher Vedam Ruteshchaiva Gunatas Trividam Sunu Prochyamanam Aseshena Prudhaksena Dhananjaya. O Arjun, I will explain to you now separately and in detail about the threefold differences of buddhi, that is intellect, and dharma in accordance to gunas. Prevrutim cha nivrutim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yaveti buddhissa Partha Satviki. The man with vacillating, our Arjun, that buddhi is sattvic, which correctly perceives the paths of adhering to dharma and detachment to adharma, dutiful and undutiful actions, fear and fearlessness, and bondages and liberation, is said to be sattvika buddhi. Yaya dhamma madhanmancha karyancha karyamevacha ayadhavat prajanati buddhissa partha rajasi. O Arjun, the buddhi which cannot perceive the real dharma and adharma, dutiful karma and undutiful karma, is said to be Rajasa buddhi. Adharmam dharmamitiya manyate tamasa vruta sarvardhan viparitansya buddhissa parthassa tamasi. The buddhi, covered with ignorance, sees the dharma as adharma. Likewise, all other matters in a perverted way is said to be tamasik buddhi. Druchyaya dharayate manah pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhicharinya drutissa partha satviki. O Partha, the courage with which a man maintains his consistency of mind, not turning towards sense pleasures, the courage with which he controls the life force, senses, and the act are objects of senses with the Kriya Yoga sadhana, and steadily keeps his mind fixed to soul meditation, such courage is sattvika courage. Yayatu dharma kamarthan druchya dharayate arjuna prasangena phalakankshi drutissa partha rajasi. O Partha, the fortitude with which the man follows dharma, riches, and desire, longing for the fruits of karma, is said to be having Rajasa Dhairya, Rajasa, courage. Yaya swapnam bhayam sokam vishadam madame vacha na vimunchati durmedha drutissa partha tamasi. O Partha, that resolute fortitude with which the gullible does not forsake oversleep, fear, despair, sorrow and wanton conceit is said to be having tamasika dhairya. Sukham tvidanim trividham srunume bharatarshava abhyasad dramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. Oh, the best of Bharata, Arjuna, the practice with which the sadhak gets happiness and unhappiness, that also is of three types. Listen to me now in detail. Yattadagre vishamiva pariname mrutopamam tat sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. The happiness which is like poison in the beginning and like nectar in the end, such a transcendental happiness gained due to the purity of mind and intellect is called Sattvika Sukha, Sattvika happiness. In the initial stages of sadhana, the sadhak will have pains of physical body. Then the subtle body will be subjected to thought disturbances. After this phase, the idea body will be subjected to certain problems like levitating effects, etc. All these are natural but appear like poison in the beginning, but in the end they will transform into unparalleled happiness of meeting God, which is like nectar. Vishayendriya sanyogat yattadagre mrutopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukham rajasam smrutam. The happiness that appears to be nectar in the beginning because of conjunction with the senses and the poison at the end is said to be Rajasa Sukha. Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamatmanaha nidralasya pramadodham tattamasa mudahrutam. The elusive happiness that springs from oversleep, idleness and miscomprehension, the attachment, ignorance and delusion which are the results of these in the end causes unhappiness. In the end cause unhappiness. So the happiness which causes unhappiness in the beginning and end and also in the end is called Tamasika Sukha. Man has to control his senses. If he tries to satiate the senses more than requirement without any control, then he has to suffer afterwards. So controlling senses is essential for a sadhak. Na tadasti pruthivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakrutijair muktam yadhevis satribhir gunaihi. O Arjun, nothing in this world or in the world of devas that is not born out of this prakriti or maya with one or more of these three gunas exists. Brahmana kshatriya visham Sutranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani svabhava prabhavair gunaihi. O Arjuna, the sculptor of enemies, the duties of Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras are allocated as per the gunas springing forth from their own nature. The true natural caste of the Brahmin are God knowers, Kshatriyas are sense fighters, Vaishyas are wisdom cultivators, and Sudras are body identified individuals. These four castes are present in all nations as the spiritual intelligentsia, the soldiers, rulers and leaders, the businessmen and the laborers. These four castes are present in all nations as a spiritual intelligentsia, the soldiers, rulers and leaders, the businessmen and laborers. The traits such as Sattvika, Rajasa, Tamasa, Sattvika plus Rajasa, Rajasa plus Tamasa lead to caste. Dronacharya is Brahmin by caste. He is the guru of Pandavas and Kauravas. He taught them archery, etc., which are not Brahmin traits. If father is a doctor, then his son need not be a doctor. If father is an engineer, his son need not be an engineer. This caste should not be based on biological birth, that is, on caste of the father. This leads to disintegration of the nation. Samodamam tapaschaucham, samodamastapasaucham, shanti rajyavamevacha, gnanam vijnanamastikyam, brahman karma svabhavajam. Hey Arjun, mind control, sense control, tapas or self-discipline, purity within and without, shanti or excusing the faults of others with a good heart, tenderness in behavior with mind and senses, straightforwardness without conceitedness, possessing scriptural knowledge, faithfulness towards Ishwar, the Parabrahman, astral worlds, God, Sadguru, the preceptor, are the Brahmin karma duties by nature. Sauryam tejo dhrutirdakshyam yuddhi chapya palayanam danam ishvara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. Velat, radiance, fame, glory, courage, ability, not fleeing from battle, munificence, administrative capacity are kshatriya karma by nature. Krushi gorakshavaanidyam vaisyam karma svabhavajam paricharyatmakam karma Sudrasyapi svabhavajam. Ye Arjun, cultivation, cow breeding, business are Vaishya karma by nature. Seva or service to others is the Sudra karma by nature. Sve sve karmanyabhiratas sansiddhim labhate naraha swakarma niratas siddhim yadha vindati chatrunu. The man who is dedicated to his natural karma shall gain gradual ability to ascend transcendency. How the man devoted to his natural karma shall gain utmost success? Let me tell you in detail. Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam siddhim vindat swakarmanatamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. O Arjun, the Brahman from whom all beings are manifested, Brahman means Parabrahman, from whom all beings are manifested, Parabrahman, by whom the whole world is pervaded, such a Parabrahman is to be worshipped by his natural karma. This gives him perfection of wisdom. The sadhaka should worship such a Parabrahman with his natural karma. This gives the sadhak the perfection of wisdom. If studied with dedication, then he can become a doctor or engineer irrespective of his caste. One will be able to remember and understand the lessons if he reads once or twice as per his past habits. In case of others, they may have to read more than once because he has not done much homework in his past births. One should make more hard work with willpower to remember and understand the lessons without bothering about the past habits. Likewise, sadhana is also same thing. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma svanushtitat swabhava niyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. Hey Arjun, it is better to follow one's own natural dharma in spite of lacking merit than following dharmas of others. He who performs his natural dharma cannot contact sin. So here the yogic meaning, man can never be able to satisfy the senses. Man should come out of the bondage to senses with Kriya Yoga sadhana and worship the soul which is beyond all gunas. This is called Swadharma Charana and it is the best. Kriya Yoga is scientific, unwavering and gives fixed results for sure, which leads to merger of self with the spirit. This merger is called yoga. Religion is based on superstitious beliefs and schisms. Kriya Yoga is beyond religion. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi na tyajet sarvarambhahi doshena dhumena agni rivavrutaha. O son of Kunti, one should not give up natural karma even though it has some imperfection. Agni is covered by smoke. Likewise, all karmas are covered by one blemish or the other. In spite of getting physical, mental and spiritual difficulties in the initial stages, one should not leave sadhana. With Kriya Yoga meditation, the sadhak will unite the small happiness of self with the infinite happiness of spirit. Meditation is not an ordinary concentration. Concentration means to remove the mind from unwanted things and make it to concentrate on a thing or interest. On a thing of interest. To liberate the mind from restlessness and make it to concentrate on God and God only by special techniques is called meditation. So meditation is God knowing concentration. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata sprukhah naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyase nadhi gacchati. O Arjun, the man who is not attached to worldly things and passions, who conquer the mind, desireless beings, is victorious in gaining his soul due to the detachment. The intense meditation, if it is done for a longer time, then the sadhak will be able to get beatitude, Paramanandam, of God happiness for a longer time in silence. Every sadhana of yesterday should be more intense than today. Likewise, dhyana of tomorrow should be more intense than today. Siddhim prapto yadha brahma tadhapnoti nibodhame samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha gnanasya ya para. O son of Kunti, listen to me in brief about the personification of Gnana state, pure wisdom, personification of Gnana state, that is pure wisdom, the renunciation of karmas for gaining supreme Brahman. Buddhya visuddhaya yukto dhruchyatmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishayans tyaktva ragadvechau vyudasya cha vivikta sevi laghvasi yatavakaya manasah dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasritah ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmamasyanto brahmabhuyaya kalpate. O Arjun, the man who is absorbed in completely purified intellect, who takes easily digested limited sattvika food, who takes the easily digested limited sattvika food, the man who sits in solitude, ekanta, giving up the senses, indriyas, and objects of senses, sits in clean place, who has controlled his body and mind by harmonizing antakarana with the power of yoga, dharana, concentration, the sadhak who has taken shelter in fortified vairagya, dispassion, by shedding attractions and repulsions, who has given up ego, brutal strength, vanity, lust, anger, and possessions, always immersed in dhyana, and who has given up I and mind. Consciousness is qualified to become one with Brahman. Kriya Yoga Sadhana is the only powerful weapon by which Maya can be defeated and makes this sadhak united with God. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samas sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktam labhate param. The sadhak, whose mind is calm and pure, who is one with Sat, Chit, Ananda, Parabrahman, and who is Jivan Mukta, will not lament and ask about anything, equating himself with every being and seeing those things within him shall get a transcendental deviation in me. In me means Paramatma, in Paramatma. The principal things have to be given first importance. Man should do meditation immediately. Then the worldly things will not bind us. The day started with meditation will end happily. Again, meditate before sleep. Even if you get 5 minutes free time in this maddening crowd, meditate intensely. Give up gossiping and do meditation. The worldly life should be sandwiched between one meditation to another meditation. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yava nyaschaspmi yat tatvatah yava nyaschaspmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gnatva visati tadanantaram. Hey Arjun, with the supreme devotion, the sadhak is anchored to Brahman. Brahman means Parabrahman. Then he is understanding really me and me only. Me and me means Paramatma only. Me and me only and my capacity. And afterwards entering into me, that is Paramatma. Even if lesser time is available, then that time must be made use of. The sadhak should do meditation so intensely that he should get the feeling of having done meditation for hours together. Sarvakarmanyapi sada kurvano madhyapasrayakha mat prasadadavapnoti shasvatam padamavyayam. Hey Arjun, the yogi who gives up the feeling of I am doing, the relinquisher of all results of karma, and who is completely dedicated to me. The yogi who gives up the feeling of I am doing, the relinquisher of all results of karma, and who is completely dedicated to me, he is getting the eternal salvation with my grace in spite of doing all karmas. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yogam upasritya machitta satatam bhava. O Arjun, you surrender all your karma with fully devoted mind to me. You trust me as a supreme goal. Completely absorb your buddhi in me. With the adoption of dhyana yoga, that is meditation, if we do more dhyana, then we will be able to help more to the people. We will make union with God. We will become selfless. We will know our universality. Machittat sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi ajachetvam ahankaran nasroshyasi vinakshyasi. If you completely absorb your mind in me, O Arjun, then you can cross this circuit of unpleasant mundane circuit with my grace. If you do adhere to my advice due to ego, if you do not adhere to my advice due to your ego, then you will be spoiled. Why? Now let us discuss. Why God should appear to us so easily? We work very hard for the sake of money, spouse, or offspring, but we will not make any efforts to know about all providing God. If we do at least 1 hour regular intense meditation with a single pointedness of getting Him, then He will definitely appear to us. Yadjahankaramāsrijya nayosya iti manyase midhyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutim stvam niyokshasi. O Arjun, in case if you say, I will not fight with ego, your effort will be fruitless. Because your kshatriya nature will force you to do what? Intuition will come within and the thoughts will come from without. Without means outside. The intuition will make the sadhak to see the truth practically in his front. Sadhana is a war. Every sadhak is a warrior, kshatriya, who makes battle with enemies within and without. Within means antargatam. Without means outside. Thoughts will make the man to understand the things indirectly. The intuition will make the sadhak to see the truth fully in consummation directly with unforgettable experiences. Every human being has thoughts as well as intuition. Sahajava bodha. As you increase your thoughts, you can increase the intuition, soul wisdom. Intuition is beyond logic. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasya vasopitat. Excuse me. O Arjun, take shelter in Parabrahman. O Arjun, bound by your own habits of past births, culminating in your present kshatriya nature, the battle which you do not want to do now will be done by implication of karma. You will automatically do by implication because of your karma. Infinite God is beyond logic. The logic can grasp cause and effect theory. God is beyond cause and effect theory. The greatest faculty man has got is intuition, but not intellect. Intuition is the most powerful weapon man only has got. The knowledge the man gets out of the senses is deceitful, defectful, delayed and discredited one. Intuition given by God shall provide immediate truth about the things. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hruddeshe junatistati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. O Arjun, the organizer of cosmos, Parabrahman, is lodged in the hearts of all creatures. His cosmic delusion is Paramatma's cosmic delusion, Maya, bracing all beings to rotate as if attached to a machine. The superconscious mind is the center of mind and intellect. Man can find God through the superconscious mind only. Man can overcome Maya through meditation only. The happiness that the sadhak will get during and after meditation will reveal the all-pervading bliss. The subtle light which causes this apparent world is the same light that appears to the sadhak in his sadhana. The sadhak who sees that light will experience universal consciousness. Tameva saranam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param shanti sthanam prapsyasi shasvatam. O Arjun, take shelter in Parabrahman only, who is the indweller of all hearts in all ways. With his grace you can get the utmost peace and eternal shelter. The sadhak should abandon body attachment and slavery completely. Till the sadhak attains the mastery, this body attachment is his enemy. Except spreading the message of God and singing his glory with unflinching faith, nothing else he desires. Complete surrender to God is the only way to obtain his love. His love means the love of God. Kriya Yoga is the path for this by which the wavering mind can be controlled. Iti te jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrusyaita daseshena yadechyasi tadha kuru. O Arjun, I have granted you the most secretive and transcendental wisdom this way. You grasp this, the most valuable wisdom fully, and then follow whatever way you like. Now God is concluding. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaka srunu me paramam vachaka ishtosi me drudamiti tato vakshyami te hitam. O Arjun, listen to the secrets of my word once again. You are very dearer one. You are very dearer to me. Listen to the secrets of secrets. This is the secret of secrets. That is why I am once again telling you, wishing your welfare. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. O Arjun, concentrate your mind on me only, devoted to me only, worship me only, put namaskaram to me only. If you do this, namaskaram is like this, to put namaskaram to me only. If you do this, then you will get me only. You are dearer to me. I am really telling you with a promise. Sarvadhanman parityajya mamekam saranam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaka. O Arjun, forsaking all other dharmas, take shelter in me only. I will liberate you from all your sin. Here, the sadhak should give up all the duties of senses, sarva dharma. Parityajya means the sadhak should give up all the duties of senses and surrender to God fully. Then all the problems of sanchita, past, prarabdha, that is present, and agami, that is future, karmas will be annihilated. Idante na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana nacha susrushache nacha susrushave cha vacyam nacha susrushave vacyam nacha mam yobhyasuyati. The one who do not do any penance to a devotionless person, the one who do not want to listen to this Gita, the one who is having fault look of understanding, he is not to be taught this Gita, Bhagavatgita, Gita Shastra, preached to you by me. Ya imam paramanguhyam mat bhakteshvabhidasyati bhaktam bhaktim mayi padang krutva mame vaishyatya sansayaka. O Arjun, the one who preaches or imparts this most secretive and unparalleled Gita, Sara, to my devotees, then such a person will have utmost devotion to me. He is getting me undoubtedly, having got all his doubts removed. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakruttamaha bhavita nacha me tasmat anya priyataro bhuvihi. O Arjun, no one amongst the men will be superior to him as he is doing more likable things to me. That devotee is more dear to me, and no other such devotee exists on this earth. Adhyeshyate cha imam dharmyam samvadamavayoh gnana yagnena tenaha mishtasyamiti me matihi. O Arjun, this conversation between you and me is the embodiment of dharma, righteousness. In my view, whosoever studies this sacred conversation will be worshipping me by gnana yajna, pure wisdom sacrifice. Shraddhavananasuyascha shrunuyadapiyo naraha sopi muktas subhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. O Arjun, the individual will hear this Gita. The individual who will hear this Gita Shastra with dedication and devotion, then such a devotee will be devoid of sins and will attain the world of virtue. Kachideta sudam partha vaikagrena chetasa kachidagnana samohaka pranashtaste dhananyaya. O Arjuna, the individual will hear this Gita, the individual who will hear this Gita Shastra, O Arjun, with dedication and devotion, then such a devotee will be devoid of sins and will attain the world of virtue. O Arjun, did you listen to my preaching with a single-minded concentration? Has your illusion-born ignorance is completely mitigated? Arjuna Vacha. So the previous sloka is the last sloka by Paramatma. Arjuna Vacha. Nashto mohaka smrutilabdha tat prasadan maya achyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna said, O Krishna, my illusion is annihilated with your kind grace. O Krishna, my illusion is annihilated with your kind grace. I had regained my wisdom consciousness. Doubts are mitigated. I am firmly established. I will execute your orders. Sanjaya Vacha. This is the last sloka of Arjuna. Sanjaya Vacha. Ityaham vasudevasya पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादमिममश्रौष madbhutam romaharshanam. Sanjaya said, O King Dhritarashtra, this way I have heard the sacred and hair-raising conversation between Sri Krishna and the great soul Arjuna. Vyasa prasada srutavan etad guhyatamam param yogam yogeshwarat Krishna sakshat khadayatat swayam. O Dhritarashtra Maharaja, through the grace of Maharshi Veda Vyasa, this most secretive, the most preeminent and the supreme Yoga Shastra has been bestowed on me. I have heard the sacred conversation between Arjun and Sri Krishna, Yogi of Yogis. Sri Krishna is Yogi of Yogis, directly. Rajan Sansmutya Samvadamima Madbhutam Kesavarjunayoho Punyam Krushyami cha muhurmuhu. O King Dhritarashtra, I am rejoicing again and again. Who will not rejoice? This one you tell me. I am rejoicing again and again, recollecting this astonishing, virtuous and extraordinary sacred Sri Krishna Arjuna conversation. Tacha Sansmutya Rupamachadbhutam Hare Visvayo me Mahan Rajan Krushyami cha punah punaha. O King Dhritarashtra, recalling again and again the colossal manifestation of Sri Krishna, I am struck with wonder and overwhelming joy. This is the last sloka in Bhagavatgita. Yatra yogeshwara Krishno yatra pardho dhanurdharaha tatra Sri Vijayo bhutihi Dhruvani tirmatirmama. This is my firm view that wherever the Lord of Yoga, that is Sri Krishna, and bow wielded Arjuna are present, there exists all victories, all fortunes, and firm morality. Here Gandiva means the spinal cord. The sadhak is Arjuna. The sadhak who do meditation with a spinal cord erect will be rewarded with all victories, all fortunes, and endowed with unflinching morality. That is the sadhak who is triumphant over his self shall be bestowed with all righteous things. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Mahabharate Shatasahisrikayam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Srimad Bhishma Parvani Srimad Bhagavatgita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Moksha Sanyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasojjayah Samaptam. Om Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.